What's up, YouTube? Jason here, 606 Garage. This is going to be a little bit different video today. We're going to work on a tool. We're going to modify a tool, one that is commonly used in the shop, the engine hoist. Let me show you what we're going to do. All right, so I bought this the other day, and I'm kind of actually pretty picky about engine hoist. I'm not a fan of the fold-up ones. I know everybody, that's the most common one. I don't much care for them. I like the older ones. This particular one I bought somewhere up in Cincinnati for like 75 bucks. But I like the thicker, the rectangle overhead, like the stick, the crane stick, whatever you want to call it. I went ahead and bought the 8-ton Ram. Nowhere near does it need one that big, but hey, why not? Now, you'll notice down here, they welded these casters right on this. It doesn't have the extending legs on it like the front. So, now if you've ever dealt with one of these right here, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like leading a drunk to church. These things are a nightmare to move around the shop, especially with these little 2.5-inch wheels that are steel. And I mean, there was another one here before. It belonged to my dad. He took it to his shop. And so I bought this one. It's very similar to the one that he had. And it's not going to leave here because it's mine. But I need to modify it to make it work the way I want to. So I bought these big 4-inch rubber casters, plastic. Now I know everybody's thinking, oh man, you can't put these on that hoist, they'll destroy them. These have got a 500-pound weight limit a piece. These things weigh a little over 400 pounds. Now, I have had casters. I picked a counterweight up on the front of on the rear of a forklift. Now, I've got another engine hoist similar to this up at the other shop, and it squashed this right here, and it had the steel wheels. It had the steel wheels for the engine hoist. It was made for the engine hoist. And I got to looking online, and these things are really only rated for about 400 pounds a piece. So I don't care what kind of Ram you've got. I don't care if it's 4-ton, 3-ton, 8-ton. You got wheels that'll support 800 to 1,000 pounds in the front. So I bought these. They're bigger, they'll roll better, nice bearings. And I'm actually going to drill them and bolt them on versus welding them, because when you weld them, it really causes problems with your bearings right there. They don't work quite right. But if you'll notice, they're pretty tall. So we got to make some modifications. Hi Pearl, hi Pearl, hi Diamond, hi Honey. Guys, meet Diamond and Pearl. Just rescued those from Scioto County Pound. They were about to put them to sleep. I just happened to be there. So I was able to give them a home, and they're excellent dogs. Love them to death already. The other dogs love them too. Alright, now I went and got this piece of steel. It's 2.5-inch, 11 gauge. Whatever, 1/8-inch steel, whatever you want to call it. Now, if you look, I originally measured it to where it needed to be. All right. Well, I want to make measuring easy. So I got this. I mean, it's hard to mess with that measurement. So I just basically took this, held up against tight, put that up there. Now I've got a true line. And it's going to be the same for both sides. Alright, so let me explain to you how I measured this. I didn't do a very good job. So basically, this is the length right here. I measured it. I made my length right there. So boom. I'm going to square it up there. Square it up here. All right. All right. Notice I mark it here. This is where I start my not a 45, but this is where I start to angle down. Right? So basically, I just put a mark here. All right. So now that I've got that mark there, I'm pretty much just going to take this and kind of eyeball it best I can. Square it up right there. Let me do this one more time. It's actually best to just draw a line. All right. Now, as you can see, here's my corner. There's my corner. I'm just going to take this right here. There it is. So now it's just this over, over. And this piece blocks in that right there. Now this piece blocks in that right there because it's the same height as this. And now where I keep this, and if I make it exactly just like I did this right here, all four pieces are going to be exactly the same. If I cut it exactly the same, my measurements will be right, my lines will be right. I just need to be able to be steady-handed enough to cut it the right way. So I just wanted to be a little bit more in depth on how I did that. But this is how I measure stuff. I measure it about where it needs to be, and then I try to find something that's solid, that's going to be not precise per se, but something that's going to be consistent every time I do a cut. Whenever you try to do something like this, stuff like this, I use steel to measure all the time and draw lines. It's a great straight edge. It's already pre-measured. This is a 1-inch piece of steel. This is 1.25 inches. This is 2.5. I mean, when you buy steel, it's measured. It's pretty sharp. Alright, so I'm just going to cut it up, cut it across there. I'm going to take this bottom piece and I'm going to weld it back in here and then box it in with a piece of this, because that's how deep I made it. Alright, so we got that cut the way we want it, kind of. Just need to dress it up with a grinder. This is the piece that I cut off of it. And I'm just going to put it right back on there. I'll just take some, C-clamps and draw it down. I'm going to chamfer this with a grinder so I have a place for my weld to go. And then I'm going to get this sewed up right here. And then I'm going to take my little piece of metal and block that off right there. I might actually box it off right here too. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this yet, and I may just leave it open. I don't know. We'll see. Alright, so I tack my corners on. Now I'm gonna mash this down and sew this up both sides. Got that sort of going. I gotta finish pushing this in right here. Alright, so I was able to get it in this vise right here to mash it together. Let's weld it up. Now this is not the piece I was using to measure with. All right, so I'm gonna open this up a little bit so that'll slide in there. All right, got it all boxed in. Sure to be pretty stout. We'll see what the wheel's gonna look like on it. As you can see, that looks like it's gonna work just fine. All right, perfect. Let's get it drilled and bolted on. All right, we got 2 bolts on it. We need to spot our next 2 holes. I use this center punch. I don't think I'll be able to drill with that wheel on, but we'll try it. Alright, got lucky on that. Let's get some bolts on it. Sweet. Love it. Love it. That's gonna be perfect. All right, y'all see me make 1 leg, or whatever you want to call it. I gotta do 4 more. You don't need to see that. That worked out great. I've been thinking about doing that for about 2 months. I've had them wheels for a month at least. So that's kind of what I had in mind when I ordered them. I think it's gonna work out perfect. I just need to go ahead and get this out and finish it. I just wanted to share that with you. If you want to, I'm going to say, I feel like it's going to be decent. I feel like it's going to roll around well. I feel like it's going to be smooth. I think it's going to survive. I'll share an attachment of where I got these on Amazon. Guys, girls, thanks for hanging out with me. 606 Garage. Subscribe and like, please.